Okay, so sometimes on the last day of class, I like to read a poem, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of depends on how well behaved the students are. If they can sit still for a fucking poem. People hate poetry, but there's a poem that I really like that I think is a nice way to end class, and I read it to all the classes that I like. And this semester, it's very easy to read because I'm just recording myself, and you can just turn it off if you feel like it, instead of what I usually get, which is people interrupting me to ask questions about due dates in the middle of a poem. So I'm gonna read this poem, which is lovely, and it's a poem. I don't know. It's a poem that I think captures something about class, but in the middle of the poem, something happens that really reminds me of COVID. And so I feel like an extra good poem to read this year. But it's a kind of nice goodbye poem and a nice way of thinking about the semester and the end of the semester and leaving the semester. And so I thought it would be a nice thing to read. So this is a poem by one of my favorite poets, a guy named John Ashbery. Um, and this is a poem that he wrote called How to Continue, which I think is an extremely good title for a poem. So here we go. John Ashbery's How to Continue. Oh, there once was a woman, and she kept a shop selling trinkets to tourists not far from a dock, who came to see what life could be far back on the island. And it was always a party there, always different, but very nice. New friends to give you advice or fall in love with you, which is nice. And each grew so perfectly from the other, it was a marvel of poetry and irony. And in this unsafe quarter, much was scary and dirty, but no one seemed to mind very much. The parties went on from house to house. There were friends and lovers galore all around the store. There was moonshine in winter and starshine in summer, and everybody was happy to have discovered what they discovered. And then one day, the ship sailed away. There were no more dreamers, just sleepers, in heavy attitudes on the dock, moving as if they knew how among the trinkets and the souvenirs, the random shops of modern furniture. And a gale came and said, "It is time to take all of you away, from the tops of the trees to the little houses on little paths so startled." And when it became time to go, they, none of them, would leave without the other, for they said, "We are all one here, and if one of us goes, the other will not go." And the wind whispered it to the stars. The people all got up to go and looked back on love.